Hello, today we are going to discuss, it's kind of a review of what we did last week on lesson 3-2, where we discussed patterns and equations. This week we are mostly going to be solving equations that are multiple step. So this is a perfect example. If I have my equation as y equals 2x minus 7, what I need to do is I need to substitute each number in for x. So with this one right here, I would do y equals 2 times 4 minus 7. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 7 would give me 1. So y equals 1. Another one is if I did y equals 2 times 6 minus 7. Well, using the order of operations, the first thing I have to do is I have to solve 2 times 6, which would be 12 minus 7. Well, 12 minus 7 is 5, so y equals 5. So that's where, right here, I have 6 is what I substituted in, and 5 right here is what my answer is when I am substituting it into this equation. Now I have to solve for 7 right here. So I'm going to do y equals 2 times 7 minus 7, using my equation right here, y equals 2x minus 7. So 2 times 7, 7 is x, so 2 times 7 is 14, minus 7 would give me 7. So in this box right here, I will put a 7. Now let's do 8. So I've got y equals 2 times 8 minus 7. Well, what's 2 times 8? 2 times 8 is 16, minus 7 would be 9. So in this box under 8, I am going to put 9. So that is kind of a summary of how to solve these problems. One thing you have to remember is you always use the order of operations. The order of operations, if you don't remember it, is grouping symbols and then exponents, and then you always solve multiplication and division first, and then you do the addition and subtraction part of the equation. So let's go to our next screen and let's work through some of these problems. I'm going to start with this one right here, y equals 3x plus 7. So I'm going to write that down 4 times. Write that down. Y equals 3x plus 7. And y equals 3x plus 7. Now, let me move my face. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Just a minute. Okay, so what I am going to do now is I'm going to substitute 0 in. So 3 times 0 plus 7. So I'm going to substitute 1 in. 3 times 1 plus 7. I'm going to substitute 2 in. 3 times 2 plus 7. And I'm going to substitute 3 in. 3 times 3 plus 7. So now I've got to start solving them. So 3 times 0 would be 0 plus 7. 0 plus 7 is 7, so I am done. Let's look at this next one. 3 times 1 would be 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. Now I'm done. So right here, let me do this. I'm going to put 7 here. I'm going to put 10 right here because 1 is what I substituted in, and my answer, y equals 10. If I bring down my y equals on each of them, you would see what I'm talking about. Y is on this side equals whatever. So right here, y equals 3 times 2 plus 7. Using the order of operations, I have to start with 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 7 equals y. 6 plus 7 is 13 equals y. So where I have the 2, I'm going to put a 3 underneath it for y. 13 equals y. Sorry, I've said 3. And let's solve our last one. I substituted in 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 7. 9 plus 7 is 16 equals y. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put 16 in my box. Let's do another one. Let's do number 2. So y equals 4x minus 4. Let me write that down. Y equals 4x minus 4. Y equals 4x minus 4. And y equals 4x minus 4. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute in a 2. So y equals 4 times 2 minus 4. So using the order of operations, there's no grouping symbols, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication and division. So I'm going to first start with 4 times 2, which is 8, minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4, so y equals 4. So under this 2, I'm going to put my answer, y equals 4. Let's do the next one. I'm going to substitute in a 4. So y equals 4 times 4 minus 4. 4 times 4 is 16 minus 4 would give me a 12. So y equals 12. So I'm going to put 12 right here. Now we're going to do 6. Y equals 4 times 6 minus 4. Well, 4 times 6 is 24 minus 4. So y equals, well, 24 minus 4 would give me 20. So I'm going to substitute in it, or I'm going to put a 20 up here in my table. Now let's look at our last one. Y equals 4 times 8 minus 4. Well, 4 times 8 is 32 minus 4 would give me 28. So y equals 28. So I'm going to put 28 in my table up here. Let's do another one. This next one's kind of easier. Y equals 2x minus 7. I'm going to start by writing it down 4 times. Y equals 2x minus 7. Y equals 2x minus 7. And y equals 2x minus 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute 1. So y equals 2 times 1 minus 7. Using the order of operations, there's no grouping symbols, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication or division. 2 times 1 would be 2 minus 7 equals y. This one's kind of tricky because it's supposed to be plus 7, sorry. 2 plus 7 would give me a 9. I just wrote this down wrong, so let me fix it really quick. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to put my 9 right here. Now I'm going to substitute a 3 in here. So y equals 2 times 3 plus 7. So first I have to do order of operations. No grouping symbols, no exponents, but there is multiplication and division. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 7 would give me 13 equals y. So I'm going to put my 13 right up here, and I'm going to move to the next one, 5. Y equals 2 times 5 plus 7. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 7 would give me 17. Good job. And so let me put my 17 in my table. And now let's look at numbers at 7. So y equals 2 times 7 plus 7. With this one right here, same thing, order of operations. There's no grouping symbols, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication or division. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 7. Now I've got one operation left, so 14 plus 7 would give me 28 equals y. So I am going to put 28 right here in this box, and I am done with number 3. Let's look at number 4. 4 is a little trickier, so I'm not going to write them all down right at once. I am going to need the space. So if I have y equals 1/4 x plus 5, I'm going to substitute y equals 1/4. If I am multiplying by fractions, I want all of them to be fractions. The first one's pretty easy. 1/4 times 0 plus 5. Well, anything times 0 is 0. Plus 5 would give me 5 equals y. So I am going to put 5 right here. Now let's do our next one. Y equals 1/4 times 4. But to do 4, I'm going to write it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to put 4 over 1 plus 5. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 5. Now I've got to turn this fraction into a whole number. 4 divided by 4 would give me 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. So y equals 6. Now let's do another one. Y equals 1/4 x plus 5. So y equals 1/4. I've got to turn my 8 into a fraction, so 8 over 1 plus 5. In order to multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. So 1 times 8 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. And I'm going to bring down my plus 5. 8 over 4 is a fraction, but it's also a division symbol. So 8 divided by 4 would give me 2 plus 5 equals y. So y equals 2 plus 5 is 7. So I am going to put 7 right here. And now let me do our last one. I'm amazed I have room. Y equals 1/4 x plus 5. So I've got to do y equals 1/4 times 12 over 1 because I need to turn my 12 into a whole number plus 5. In order to multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. 1 times 12 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. Well, to simplify an improper fraction, I divide. So 12 divided by 4 would give me 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5 equals 8 equals y. So I'm going to put 8 in this box right here. That was a little trickier one, but we did a great job and we stuck through it. Now let's go to our next ones. Here's our next slide. For the equation y equals 1x minus 25, will the value of y increase or decrease as x increases? Well, I'm going to do a couple of different x's. I'm going to do x equals 1, x equals 10, and x equals 50. So y equals 1x, that's bad x, minus 25. So y equals 1 times 1 minus 25. Well, 1 times 1 is 1 minus 25 would give me negative 24 equals y. So I'm going to put negative 24 as my first one. Now let's do x equals 10. So y equals 1x minus 25. So y equals 1 times 10 minus 25. 1 times 10 is 10 minus 25 is negative 15. So y equals negative 15. So negative 24 to negative 15. If you look on a number line, it moves to the right, which tells me that so far it's getting bigger. But let's try a bigger number. Y equals 1x minus 25. So y equals 1 times 50 minus 25. 1 times 50 is 50 minus 25 would give me 25. So y equals 25. So when I think about a number line, each of these numbers gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it moves to the right of the number line. So they do increase. Now let's go to another problem. This one's kind of, I think, a little easier, but it's tricky because you have to write an equation. So it says Grace has $100. She is buying charms for her bracelet that cost $5 each. Write an equation showing the relationship between the number of charms she buys and the amount of money she has left. Well, right now, I'm trying to figure out how much money she has left. So I'm going to put an L right here. How much money did she start with? Well, she started with $100. But how much is each charm? Each charm is $5 a charm. So I can write it that way. So that would be my equation. So how many charms can Grace buy before she runs out of money? Well, this one's kind of easy if you do it mental math. I know that 5 times 20 equals 100, so she can buy up to 20 charms before she runs out of money. We are done with today's lesson. Good luck on your homework, and I'll see you in class.